Hello friends, I am Dr. Arpana Agrawal, an assistant professor at Department of Physics, Shri Neelkanteshwar Government Postgraduate College, Khandwa, MP, India. And I welcome you all to the second module of the course Laser Physics, and which emphasize on holography. And after completing this module, I expect that the students will be able to understand the basic difference between photography and holography. They will be able to know how to construct and reconstruct the hologram and explain why the images of holograms are truly three-dimensional. So with this objective, let us start our today's session. And the contents of the session are as follows. Firstly, I will give a brief introduction about holography, history of holography, then the working of holography, construction of a hologram, what are the properties of a hologram, then how we can reconstruct the hologram, followed by mathematical explanation of construction and reconstruction of hologram. And finally, I will discuss about the certain advantages, disadvantages, and applications of holography. And finally, I will summarize the class. Basically, holography is a Greek term which is comprising of two terms, that is a holo, which means whole view, and gram, which means writing or drawing. So holography is a word which is form of two different words. Holo and gram means whole writing. And technically, if we talk about the technical term for holography, it is a wavefront reconstruction. The image changes as the position and the orientation of the viewing system changes. So it is the advanced form of photography that allows to record a three-dimensional world on a two-dimensional recording medium. In photography, we can only record amplitude, while in photography we record both the amplitude as the phase. So the three dimensions of are height, width, and depth of the object. And it is a lensless photography with a very high resolution, and we can see using neck dyes, demonstrate complex parallax and depth of field, and can also be used to optically store, retrieve, and process information. So holography is a recording optical image and it is based on the principle of interference. So holography is a method of producing a virtual three-dimensional image of an object by means of light wave patterns recorded on a photographic plate. I'll show you how. And it was discovered in 1947 by Sir Gabor, who is known as the father of holography. And in 1960, when we have the invention of first laser, then this holography advances, and the first practical optical hologram that records three-dimensional object was obtained in 1962. And in 1971, Dr. Gabor has awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for his outbreak invention of the holography technique. However, the notable advancement in the field of holography has been achieved after 1960s, because we in that stage we are able to discover some low cost solid state lasers. So with the help of these lasers, we can achieve more and more advanced form of holographies. Working of holography. Actually, the working of holography is divided in two phases. Number one is recording or the construction of a hologram, and number two, we can reconstruct the hologram. So construction and reconstruction, these are the two phases of a holography. And the components that are required for holography are: number one, we need a source to illuminate the object, and for the source we cannot use any ordinary bulb or ordinary source. We use a very highly coherent source, so we use a laser beam. And another thing that we need is the beam splitter, because in holography we need an object beam and a reference beam, and to split a beam, a major beam, we need a beam splitter. And apart from this beam splitters, we can also use some mirrors and prism to split it and focus it on a proper path. And we after this, we also need a holographic plate, which is a photographic plate, to record image with very high resolution. And the image that is captured is in the form of interference pattern. Now, let us see how the hologram can be constructed. A highly coherent laser beam, say helium neon laser light, falls on a beam splitter and is splitted in two ways. So this is the coherent laser beam, which is the incoming wave, and here we have put a beam splitter. So when this beam strikes the beam splitter, it splits in two parts. The one is the object part, and another one is the reference part. So here it is the object, so we call this part as the object part, and here we call it as a reference part. So the beam, after splitting from the beam splitter, strikes this mirror and then follows this path, and from here it strikes the object and follows this path. So both the object beam and the reference beam falls on a photographic plate. So recording a hologram is simply a two-dimensional interference pattern caused by reference beam and object beam and the object. So here on this photographic plate, you will get a two-dimensional interference pattern. Now, what are the properties of this hologram? And this is a view of a hologram of interference pattern of a reference and an object beam. So if we talk about the hologram, actually this hologram is a photograph of an interference pattern which, when suitably illuminated by laser light, produces a three-dimensional image. It means when we reconstruct a hologram, then we can get a three-dimensional image. And the main properties of this hologram is we have different viewpoints, I mean different angle of views, which says that if a hologram is viewed from different sides, then you can see the object from different perspectives. In that case, you will also be able to look at the real object. And number two is divisible property. Actually, this photograph shows how this divisible property works. It says that if we cut this hologram into several pieces, then each individual piece of this single hologram will act as an individual hologram. It contains the whole information of the hologram. Sorry. Now let's see the reconstruction of a hologram. Actually, for reconstruction, we need the same laser beam that is used for during the construction of a hologram. So now here we are using the same beam, and the same beam is focused on the photographic plate that contains the two-dimensional interference pattern. So here this photographic plate contains a two-dimensional interference pattern, and it is illuminated with the same incident light that we use during the construction process. So what happened is, this beam when falls on this, then we can get reconstructed wavefronts, and a virtual image or three-dimensional image can be seen. I'll show it mathematically. So here the same figure. This is the photographic plate, we call it P. So when the plane wave obtained from the reflection of the object, so this is the object, and one more thing, we can only have, with this object we can have both amplitude and phase, and with this reference beam we can have only the amplitude. We cannot talk about the phase if we have this reference beam. So if we talk about the object, then the wave obtained from the reflection from the object is given by this equation 1, which says y1 equals to a sine omega t plus delta, where delta is the phase and a is the amplitude of the object beam. Remember, object beam. And the second thing is, from the reflection from this reference beam, the another plane wave is expressed as y2 equals to b sine omega t. Here b is the amplitude of the reference beam. So b is the amplitude of the reference beam, a is the amplitude of the wave object object wave, and delta is the phase difference of the object wave. And if we talk about the resultant amplitude, then we know that resultant is the sum of these two individual plane wave displacement. So the total displacement will be a sine omega t plus delta plus b sine omega t. And we know that intensity is the square, average square of the amplitude. So we find the intensity, and after solving this equation, we get a square by 2 plus b square by 2 plus ab cos delta. Here, one thing should be very clear, that we are talking about the construction phase, construction of a hologram. So this equation clearly suggests that in the hologram picture, we have both the amplitude as well as the phase. So the information of both the amplitude and the phase of the object wave is present in the recorded picture. That is in the hologram which is obtained on this photographic plate. Now from here we have to reconstruct the image. For reconstruction, we have used the same image. So the displacement of the transmitted wave is given by y2 equals to, one thing should be clear here, that we are using the same reference beam. If we are using the same reference beam, then the displacement should be the same. So y3 is equals to k y2i. And if I substitute the value of I from the previous equation, then upon solving, we can get y3 is comprising of three components. This one, and this component. This component shows that shows the reference wave used for the production. Actually, here we have only the amplitude, not the phase, right? And here we have both the amplitude as well as the phase, but in this case, this behaves as an object wave, because in the object wave we have sine omega t plus delta, the same function, and its amplitude is kab square by 2, similar to that of the object wave. And here in this case we have this forms a real image of the object, because here delta is negative, which means convergent nature of the beam. So this is how we can mathematically explain the construction and reconstruction process of a hologram. Now, advantages and disadvantages of a hologram are: it is very cost effective, and its storage capacity is very high. It has increased visibility of object depth, and it enables the achievement of multiple image on a single plate and gives three-dimension image. So it has the ability to combine with various other technologies. I'll show you in the application part. And if we talk about the disadvantages, that it provides a static image. Till now we don't have any moving hologram, and it do not produce image of complex movements. It requires complicated and precise machinery to produce and view an image, and the reference illumination beams should be perfectly coherent and collinear. And apart from this, we have several applications of holography, and this is widely used in optical computers, compact discs, biomedical applications, grocery stores, holographic interferometry, holographic scanners, and many more. So in conclusion, holography technique has an endless application as far as human mind can imagine, and are just about art and business communication. They are about safety, security, education. I mean, they are used in almost each and every part. Holographic technique will become, and in future we expect that holographic technique will become a very integral part of human society and civilization, where we can have holographic displays, where we will have holographic displays that will replace all present display in all size, from small phone screens to large projectors. These are two small examples that in future how this holography will grow up. So thank you all.